Welcome back, everyone. I hope you're having a great weekend. If you're tuning in on Saturday, today is episode 1989 of the Cabral Concept, our first house call of the weekend, where we're answering our community's questions, maybe even just yours as well. And we do that every single weekend. So every Saturday and Sunday, we answer 6 questions each day from the community, a dozen questions for the weekend. And we've been doing that now for going on 6 years. So thousands upon thousands of questions answered, well over 5,000 questions now. And, it's something that we just absolutely love doing. I love being able to do that, whether it be on social media, text, or the Cabral House Calls, as a way to be able to try to give back from what I was fortunate enough to learn many, many years ago. So without further ado, let's dive into today's show. If you'd like to follow along with the questions, you can head on over to stephencabral.com/1989, and you will see all of the questions for the day. Today's first question comes from Julie. She says, my daughter, who's 18, was diagnosed with mono just before basketball playoffs in 2020. To help her with energy levels during the time, she was given a B12 injection before each game. Within a month or so, she developed severe acne after never having issues of any kind. So we feel certain it's the injection related. Do you have any suggestions for clearing up this type of acne? Is it severe? It is severe and beginning to scar her face. Thank you for your help. Okay. Happy to help with this. As someone who's had Epstein-Barr virus and mono, my senior year of high school, and then all throughout college, I can certainly relate and do understand. Now, here's the thing. Sometimes it can seem like B12, and it's possible that it is, because we also don't know what is in that injection besides B12, because there could be stabilizers such as heavy metals, and it may also be cyanocobalamin instead of methylcobalamin. So you'll know right away, methylcobalamin is red in an injection, okay? Typically it's red, all right? That's actually what it looks like. That's how it's created. So if it wasn't, well, then that's most likely cyanocobalamin, which is certainly toxic to the human body. So there also might be heavy metals mixed with that. It's one of the things why allergy injections, desensitivity-based programs can be helpful, but you have to be careful what those injections are actually mixed with and based with. Okay, but there might be another explanation that I would like to share with you right now, and that is when most people have mono, even though it's a virus, their doctor will often prescribe them amoxicillin or antibiotics. And those antibiotics can then cause intestinal permeability, which can then cause acne months later. So I don't know exactly the cause for your daughter, but what I would like to say is, well, if it's the B12, we could stop the B12, and then if it goes away, okay, of course, then that's the variable. But if she took antibiotics, then you'll want to look into either running the 3 labs that we have over at Equalife for the gut, which is the Candida metabolic vitamins test, the bacterium parasite stool test, and the food sensitivity. So I would run those. If you think it's hormonal, then you'd run the stress hormones, immunometabolism. And so that's what I can offer you. And if you can't run the labs, you may want to start with the CBO-based protocol. Again, I can't provide medical advice. I'm not giving you medical advice, any treatment protocols, no cures. We don't do anything like that. What I'm giving you is, hey, you and I are talking. These are the issues you come in with. Again, I don't look at any of these questions ahead of time. Here's where my mind's at. Here's what I'd like to recommend. All right, based on, again, hundreds of thousands of appointments. So Thomas is up next. Hi, Dr. Cabral. I recently completed the 21-day detox, and I'm also in the process of achieving level 1 and level 2 of the IHP certification. I truly enjoy your passion and ability to teach all the material in an effective, engaging, and enjoyable way. Thank you, Thomas. Appreciate that. I wear an Oura ring to track sleep and other variables such as heart rate variability. On day 2 of the 21-day detox, I noticed an obvious and significant increase in my heart rate variability that lasted for the entire 21-day period. Following the completion of the detox, I noticed my heart rate variability settled back into my normal pre-detox levels. The magnitude of the HRV change was roughly 20. My question is, to which component of the detox would you attribute the favorable increase in heart rate variability? I assume it's one or more of the ingredients in either the FM or AYU detox, but I would really appreciate any insight you can offer. Would it be recommended to use the supplements to increase heart rate variability on a regular basis, or just better to focus on a holistic approach to maximize parasympathetic nervous system activity? Thank you, Tom. Okay, Tom, it's a great question, but there's actually a magnitude of variables. So, for example, are you still eating the same types of lunches and dinners? Like that's the question. Because if you're not, it could have to do with that. Are you eating later at night? It could do with that. Are you adding back in more simple carbs? It could do with that. Are you adding back in more more animal protein at lunch? Because in the Detox, it's a vegan-based lunch. So you really want to work with the whole food variables first, and then you want to look at, well, what do the rest of your meals look like? Are you still doing a shake in the morning, right? Because that's part of the detox. So what I would say is this. Try to get as close as you can because it's still healthy. Like I basically live the detox for the most part. I do a smoothie in the morning, plant-based lunch for the most part, and then a paleo-style dinner. And see if you can do that and see if it increases your heart rate variability. And then if not, yes, maybe it is the the FM detox or the AYU detox. And I don't necessarily recommend using those every single day, but I just think that it's going to be something beyond that. And I want to look at the other factors, Thomas. So look at what else changed during that detox. All right. And then I'm happy to do follow-ups as well. Savita is up next. Hi, Dr. Cabral. I'm very grateful for you and your podcast. I was wondering, what are your thoughts on the vaccine? Thank you, Savita. Savita, unfortunately, it's not a topic that I can speak on. They're currently banning YouTube shows as well as iTunes shows that talk on this topic. It's unfortunate, but I feel like what we're doing is having an impact on people all over the world, and I would hate to have my show banned. And again, this is all free. This is all free work that we're doing, and I would hate to see it all banned because I talk about one topic. So unfortunately, I can't talk about this. My recommendation is always this: read all of the potential benefits of getting a potential vaccine. Then read all the potential issues that might come with the vaccine. Because if you're someone that only reads about the issues, or you're someone that only will read about the benefits, well, then you're not open-minded, and you just want to stick with what you already believe in your dogma. Try to be open-minded about everything, and then you'll be able to come up with the best decision for you. Victoria is up next. Hi, Dr. Cabral. I just learned that my 5-year-old niece has a heart murmur. Do you have any recommendations she should follow for this? Currently, and also growing up in an effort to eventually grow out of it. Thank you. Yeah, people actually outgrow heart murmurs all the time. This is like conventional medicine's like, oh, there's nothing you can do. It's heredity, it's congenital, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But the truth is that you can. Yeah, you really can. So there's a couple things you want to do. You want to make sure that your omega-6 to omega-3 levels are normal. That will help with inflammation. You want to look at any cause of inflammation. Imbalanced electrolytes is one, or poor diet, those types of things. I'm not going to say that's going to cause a heart murmur, but it's certainly not going to help with inflammation. And you want to look at your calcium to magnesium and sodium to potassium. Those are extremely important because they can look like a heart murmur. Now, other people end up having digestive issues with bacteria that free floats through the body that also affects the heart. You can look that up as well. That's based in science. So then we just want to make sure, is your 5-year-old niece, is her gut okay? Did she have to take antibiotics as a child? If she did, that might have caused other issues. So she could run a starter kit. That's a great lab. Those are 2 labs for kids and adults. Definitely recommend starting with a starter kit. It will look for heavy metals, electrolytes, et cetera, et cetera. So that's what I recommend. And we'll also look at gut function. All right. Thank you, Victoria. Bethany's up next. Hi, Dr. Cabral. Love your podcast and appreciate what you do for all of us. I have a question regarding my 17-year-old daughter. She has recently been diagnosed with aortic ventricular tachycardia and arrhythmia. My question is, can this be caused by Hashimoto's, which she has also recently been diagnosed with? Her thyroid antibodies are off the chart. Additionally, any words of advice you can give regarding treatment for this and help ease our anxiety would be greatly appreciated. It's obviously scary for us parents when anything health-related is happening to our children. Thank you. Bethany, 100%. One thing I want to share with you is this. So first of all, I don't treat, I don't diagnose, I don't cure. What I do and what I've been doing for a long time now is looking for the underlying root cause of why someone might have a dis-ease of the body, such as an autoimmune issue like Hashimoto's. And there's always a reason why. I go through every single reason why at stephencabral.com/accelerators. It's a small investment. It's 4.5 hours that takes you through all the reasons why there's thyroid issues, hypothyroidism, and Hashimoto's. And then what we do is we go about resolving it. Now, again, I give away all the information for free, but this is an actual step-by-step. Hashimoto's, you need to look at a couple things: heavy metal toxicity, viral load, mold, gut issues, and with intestinal permeability. Any autoimmune disease, that's what you need to look at. And you're going to be able to fix it. 90% of all autoimmune issues are gut related. Now, if 90% of all autoimmune issues are gut related, now don't get me wrong, stress and other things are part of it because that's what triggers it, but they usually have gut as an underlying root cause. Your daughter, 17, she may have taken multiple courses of antibiotics in her life. She might have was on birth control. I don't know. Again, I don't know you or your daughter, but there's all sorts of reasons why there might be intestinal permeability. But what if you were to get rid of the potential parasites or yeast overgrowth or SIBO, bacterial overgrowth, or H. pylori? And then what if you were able to heal and seal back up that gut? And then what if you didn't have any more gut issues? Well, 9 out of 10 people, that's going to be a big solution, right? Not a cure, right? Not a treatment protocol. But remember, if you heal the underlying imbalances, disease can't exist. So, and then in terms of tachycardia, yeah, it can absolutely be affected. There's no doubt about it. Low thyroid affects the metabolism. Metabolism affects the heart rate. But keep in mind, arrhythmias are, again, it's not a treatment protocol. I have to keep saying that, but you'll often find a lack of magnesium in the diet or an imbalance with the electrolytes causes arrhythmias, and those arrhythmias can be rebalanced naturally. All right. Thank you, Bethany. And again, lots more. I would have your daughter run the Big 5 if she can. Add the stool test to it if you're able to. If she doesn't want to do it, that's okay. We can run the others or do the thyroid health results accelerator, and you'll be off to the races. And I would definitely recommend your daughter's 17. Have her go through everything herself. You can do it along with her, but make it time that you can do this together. You'll figure it out. She's 17. I got sick when I was 17. Unfortunately, nobody gave me the answers until I was 27. I wish I had this information. That's why I do this every single day, so that you don't have to go 10 years or forever, like never finding out your answer. We've got one more question for the day, and it's from Aaron. Hi, Dr. Cabral. Thanks for sharing your knowledge with these podcasts. Would you discuss the difference between vitamin D absorption and utilization? I have listened to a ton of your podcasts and really listened to all the vitamin D topics. You mentioned needing cofactors such as vitamin K, magnesium, etc. I use 2 scoops of the DNS in almond milk each morning with 6 drops of vitamin D3. I take Hispro, B-complex, 1 magnesium at lunch, and balanced zinc and magnesium at dinner. My vitamin D levels with my PCP won't go much above 33. I have gone from 5 drops to 7 with no changes, so settled in on roughly 35 units per pound of body weight. I've heard others say oil-based capsules are better than drops for accurate dosing. Do you recommend drops because there is some level of sublingual capillary absorption? If so, do I need to take the daily nutritional support a couple hours before vitamin D so the cofactors are already in my system, ready to work? Are the cofactors primarily for absorption of vitamin D into the body or primarily for conversion of vitamin D for use in the body? This question is getting long, and so I hope you understand what I'm asking. Thanks again for getting deep on bioregulatory medicine. Aaron, I know exactly what you're talking about. Totally understand it. I get it, and there's issues. So we need to look at, so for example, I don't have my vitamin D on my desk here because I take that in the morning. So I just don't have it here. So it's at my house. I'm in my office right now. But if you look in the back, you'll notice that it's typically in medium chain triglycerides. It helps with absorption right there. It's great. But the truth is, you should be taking vitamin D with a meal. The meal is going to have fat. A lot of people think that there's a lot of magic to, a lot of these, like adding like the safflower oil or sunflower oil, which is commonly added, that it's going to help. It does. Like, there's no doubt about it. But again, fat-soluble vitamins should be taken at meals. So your vitamin A, your vitamin K, your vitamin D, your vitamin E. Those are all in your DNS, your daily nutritional support, which we recommend with basically making a smoothie out of it, right? So that's going to help tremendously. You can take your vitamin D along with it. That's what I do. It's simple, right? I've got a little bit of oatmeal. I've got some, you can put some seeds in there, whatever you like for your healthy fat. You don't have to go overboard. I mean, you don't need 300 grams of fat, and I know that, Aaron, but I just don't want people to go overboard. You only need a little bit. I mean, we're just talking about that. Now, the factors you talked about, vitamin K, calcium, magnesium, other cofactors that help with absorption and utilization, you're getting all those. So that sounds great. So now what else could be the issue? Because you're already ahead of the game. There could be a liver processing issue as well. So if you've never done a functional medicine detox, can't recommend that enough. Ideally a 21-day if you're able to. I would also look at gut issues, just making sure that your gut is solid, intact, that you have the right bacteria in the gut as well. So that's balanced. You can run a bacteria and parasite stool test for that. And I would also make sure that there's no mold toxicity and there's no autoimmune processes as well, right? So that's what I recommend, because there's always a reason why. If you can run the big five, of course. I think looking at your gut could be a good idea, and the bacteria and parasite stool test would be a great lab to run for that. So let me give you this, because I know you've done your work. So I'm going to give you an order of importance of what I would do if I was in your position. And I would run the bacteria and parasite stool test. Then I would run the stress hormones, mood, and metabolism. Then I would run the Candida metabolic and vitamins test, because that looks at your phosphorus levels too, which will look at your calcium magnesium utilization, which is really important because maybe you need even more of that. Like you're getting some, but you might need a lot more. And then after that, your minerals and metals test. And then I would run your, if I had to do one more, probably your omega-3. Okay, so that's order of importance, depending on what you can spend finance-wise. That's how I would look at it. And I think that's going to give you it's going to help look for the underlying root cause issues that you're looking for, all right? So thank you, everyone, for your support. As always, I appreciate you. I truly do. Love this community and love being able to answer your questions every weekend. So take care. I'll be back tomorrow answering another half dozen of our community's questions.